Welcome back to the first ever Master Drum Advent Calendar video series. It is day 24. It is Christmas Eve. This is a very, very special day, special night for a lot of people. Grinch, how you feeling, man? Is that heart growing 3 times the size yet? I can't control it, man. It just happens. I think you choose to love Christmas and you just don't want to tell anybody. Each and every year, right? Yes, but I'm getting even more warm-hearted over the fact I could be in that chair tomorrow. You might, on Christmas Day, you might be sitting in this chair for a little bit. It will be a beautiful story. Well, I'm looking forward to it, but speaking of story, let's talk about my favorite movie that I watch really only on Christmas Eve, or I try to avoid it up until Christmas Eve, which is A Christmas Story. Did you know that Peter Billingsley, who actually played Ralphie, was the first kid to audition for that role? After going through many other prospects to play the role of Ralphie, Peter Billingsley, #1, ultimately was the #1 choice. I love when Ralphie says, "Oh, fudge." Well, he didn't actually say fudge, he said, "Grinch, you really?" On top of that, set designer Ruben Fried actually constructed 3 of those iconic leg lamps once he figured out the exact look he wanted. Unfortunately, all 3 leg lamps broke during filming. On top of that, there were 2 scenes that were completely ad-libbed in the movie. One, when the dad is fighting with the furnace and he just is letting off a string of insults, and Darren McGavin just couldn't string together that many insults, so he just kind of ad-libbed and said a bunch of different words together. And he couldn't curse because they wanted to keep the PG rating for the film. The other scene that was ad-libbed was when Ralphie is beating up Scott Farkas. He's actually not saying any curse words at all, he's just kind of rambling and saying a bunch of different words, again, to keep that PG rating, but all of that was ad-libbed. Haha, I love that part. And the last interesting thing was Old Man Parker, who was Ralphie's dad. His first name is never actually revealed in the movie. If you go back and watch it, you never really see Ralphie's dad get called by his first name. Just like me, I'm Grinch. Yeah, but isn't Grinch your first name? Do you want to know my name? I would like to know. It doesn't matter what you want. Well played. Well played. Christmas Eve, day 24, here we go. Welcome back to the Master Drum Whiskey Room. I am Jason C. Like, subscribe, do all the things you need to do to help grow the channel for the rest of the year. Not much time left, but appreciate all the support as we have gone through this entire advent calendar. Like I said, we'll have one more special episode tomorrow. But if this is your first time watching this advent calendar, this is how it works. A few weeks ago, I asked my mom and my girlfriend to pick 25 random bottles in my whiskey room, anything. Make up 25 samples for the 25 days of Christmas for the first ever Master Drum advent calendar that I have dubbed How Much Would I Pay Master Drum Advent Calendar Countdown to Christmas Day. For the past 23 days, I've been opening up these blind samples, nosing and tasting them, maybe guess what the age is, the proof, guessing the bottle. I was completely wrong yesterday, but ultimately determining how much I would pay for the whiskey. Then after I named my price, I revealed the sample in this advent calendar, and we could see what I was sipping and compare my value to the actual value. So, Christmas Eve, let's see what's in store for me today. Another light color. Now Booker's is in my head. This is actually pretty dark. Like the color of this one. Nice rich caramel dark honey color. A lot of people ask me what these glasses are, and they're just hard to find. So if you guys want to find these glasses, a lot of people seem to love them. They're called Copita glasses. But there's a standard Copita glass that's actually made by Glencairn, and then there are glasses called stemmed tulip glasses, which is essentially what this glass is. Is it better than Glencairn? I mean, I think it just depends on the person. I don't think one glass is better than any other. I think it just depends on you, your nose, and obviously your palate and everything else that gets involved in there. It's a, whiskey tasting is a personal thing, so let's get into it. Whoa. Wow, cinnamon and orange all day long. There's a little minerality to it that makes me think there could be some Dickel in it. That'd be kind of messed up. I get Dickel for Christmas Eve. Now I get toffee on this all day long. Toffee, chocolate, orange, and a lot of cinnamon. This smells really, really nice. All right, let's try it. Here we go. Actually, it's kind of Christmassy if you think about it in a glass. Here we go. So I'm gonna say that's a low proof. I can't tell if it has some age to it. I mean, I feel like it does. But yeah, this is a low proofer, I think. But as far as like the flavors in here, I do really feel like that the flavors of the powder are matching the nose. Getting a lot of the same flavors here, the chocolate, the orange, a little bit of dark fruit. The beauty of this whiskey is the finish on it. Right at the very end, it actually gets sweeter. In the front of the palate, you get this nice like punch of orange peel, a lot of cinnamon, heavy cinnamon, I think, actually. Then on the back end, it blooms into like this confectionery finish, which is really nice. I have no idea what this could be. I do feel like I am tasting George Dickel whiskey in here. I'm pretty sensitive to it, but you know, I also got stumped on Booker's yesterday, but this tastes kind of Dickly. Well, I'll give you my guesses here. Let me do one last sip and I'll kind of try to figure out proof and everything else. Let's go. Same thing up front, kind of like that charred orange peel, chocolate, right on the mid palate. It kind of turns into this real, like this almond cookie I get, a little gingerbread cookie as well. It's very, very baking spice forward to me here. As far as what would I pay for this one, I like the flavors in this. I think other people, you know, if there is George Dickel in here, I know a lot of people get turned off by that. My brain is telling me Barrel Craft Spirits. Barrel Craft uses a good amount of Dickel in their blends. It could be a Barstown Bourbon Company blend that they selected that has some of that 17-year George Dickel whiskey in it. Maybe it's one of those. But as far as proof point, I'm probably gonna go in like 113, 114 here. Could be a little bit higher. It does have a nice spicy finish on it. But I'll say like 114, 115 here for proof point. As far as age goes, I think there's some good age whiskey in here. But I also think it's a blend, so it's gonna be hard to pinpoint the age. So I'll just say it's a blend, but I do think there's some higher age stuff in here. I think this is about an $80 to $90 bottle, I think, just judge on the flavors that I'm getting, the proof point of it, and I do think it has some age. Is it blowing me away? No, but I think the flavors here warrant, you know, I could see this being about a $80 to $90 bottle, especially if it's a blend. So let's see what it is. The last day in the advent calendar, well, at least this advent calendar. We will have one more episode tomorrow, like I said. So let's see what this is. Christmas Eve, the 24th. Did Santa bring me some Dickel? Let's see what we got here. This is wow. So first off, there is some Dickel in here. This is the 2023 edition of Widow Jane, The Vaults, coming in at 99 proof on the dot. Let me grab the bottle. So here it is, Widow Jane, The Vaults. Now it has a 15-year age statement on it, so that means it does have some pretty good age on it. This is a blend, but it's only 99 proof. I actually thought it was a tick higher. Actually more than a tick. I thought it had more like 114, 115 proof based on the spice I was getting. But I was correct in guessing that it was George Dickel whiskey, because that's what basically this is. As far as value goes, I said that I'd pay maybe to $80, $90 for this bottle. This bottle actually is about 200 to 250 bucks. Probably not a great value here. I've never really thought the Widow Jane, the Vaults were a great value. So I picked this up this year because last year everybody was going crazy for the Vaults edition last year. And I figured, let me roll the dice. Let me see how these taste. This is my first Vaults. And yeah. While I think it's really good and has a lot of complexity to it, I just think the flavors in there, the lower proof point, it just doesn't scream $200 to $250 whiskey. I realize it's sourced. There's probably some other stuff in this blend that could be even older. But as far as a $250 bottle for this, can't say I agree. All right, so Christmas Eve, let's add Widow Jane, The Vault, to the advent calendar. A little Dickel for Christmas Eve, not too bad. And if with that said, if you guys like the video, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, find me on Instagram. Let me know what you think about this one. Were you surprised? Have you gotten to try any of the Widow Janes, the Vaults? Did you like them? Did you think they were worth the high 200 plus price point? And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. We'll see you tomorrow for one last quick episode, one last sample to go. Cheers. It's been fun. Happy holidays.